Hey guys, welcome to episode 118 of OG Toys. I'm OG. Today we're continuing to look at He-Man and the Masters of the Universe classics from Mattel. Only available at MattyCollector.com, and if you're lucky enough, you have a good comic book shop that has a couple of these, pick them up. You're not going to be disappointed. Today we're taking a look at Trapjaw, one of the classic villains from He-Man's Rogue Gallery, so to speak, of the evil villains of Skeletor's Army of Destruction. And we got him here with his 2000X counterpart from the relaunch of He-Man back in the early 2000s. I just wanted to show the difference between the two. You got your classic version, reimagined with today's articulation and styling standards. And it's pretty incredible to see this action figure. I have my fond memories of He-Man, and Trapjaw was always one of my favorite villains because, well, he had a claw, a hook, and of course that blaster. Plus he had this jaw, which was really cool looking. And in the commercials, this is crazy, I still remember, they put a string through the top of Trapjaw's head, because you can see here he has this little hole. You can see him rappelling down the string, coming to attack He-Man. I thought that was cool. And it's pretty neat that both versions actually have it. 2000X and this new version of Trapjaw. So, let's take a closer look at Trapjaw. Let's move the 2000X version out of the way for a moment. And there you go. Now this guy is pretty crazy looking. You take a look at his eyes, and he just has those crazy, psychotic monster eyes. I mean, when you think about this guy, there's a lot of history on Trapjaw, and he's kind of a tragic character. He was a villain, you know, that wanted to kind of usurp power from Keldor, who of course is Skeletor. And in battling him for kind of supremacy, he just got the crap kicked out of him. Lost his arm and the bottom portion of his jaw. And Triclops found him and basically rebuilt him into what he is today, of course, Trapjaw. And it's pretty cool that they gave a bit of a bio and reviewed that. You can see there what's left of his jaw. That is awesome. The jaw is articulated, of course. You can move it up and down. It's not spring-loaded like the 2000X version, which I'll show you right here. Now, this one did have a great face sculpt as well. Amazing, actually. But it's spring-loaded jaw. And, of course, he had that cool little circle there, so you can put your string through there. So that's cool. Let's move him back out of the way. Now this guy does have all the classic colors, you know, the classic green, the purple, and of course the blue. It does have an amazing amount of articulation, and the paint apps are of course spot on for a collector, a high-end figure like this, which is really designated at the collector market more than the kids of today. They did a phenomenal job. They didn't cheap out on anything here. You can tell the paint detail on his arm, all the blue highlights on his, you know, little diodes and his rivets, even on his belt. You can see all the silver and gold rivets there. It looks really cool. Nice wash on his loincloth as well. They did a phenomenal job on it. And of course, the accessories of Trapjaw, you can pop each of these out. Whoops. And you can put in his little pincher or his claw accessory. Either one, and they fit in very securely, which is great to see. If I can get this one in. There we go. So you can put whatever kind of accessory you like in there. And what's really cool about these figures, as I said in my previous review for He-Man, that a lot of these guys come with extra accessories to build another version of the character. So let's do that, and I'll show you some of the accessories that he comes with. So you get a brand new head, original head, that was his before he got all, well, he got the crap kicked out of him by Keldor and lost his jaw and his arm. And of course, speaking of the arm, he does come with another arm, so you can make an entirely different version of the character. Now, before I do the little transformation here, I'm going to show you the packaging of the figure, and I want to show you the bio, because that kind of explains a bit more about the figure. So I'll just hold it here for a moment, and feel free to pause the video and take a closer look at it. But the figure His original name was Cronus, which is pretty cool. I'm going to transform into Cronus in a second. But here you can see some of the other characters that are available. You got Merman, Webster, Trapjaw, of course, Beastman, Skeletor, and Triclops. Some other villains from the assortment here. And of course, you got your traditional Masters of the Universe Classics logo at the top. You got kind of like a gray skull motif going on with the packaging with lightning coming out as well. And it's very cool. The original Trapjaw. Evil and armed for combat. Of course, adult collector. Very nicely done. Now let's transform good old Trapjaw here into his original state, Cronus. So what we can do, just pop off his head. And pop off his arm. When it's cool, the figure's limbs, like I said, are removable, but you would not really know that because they're not loose whatsoever. They fit extremely well, nice and tight. Now this is an option. You can take this off, and you can do the new figure without that extra piece, or add it on. It's up to you. But you can see there's a socket for the arm, and simply attach that in. You hear that nice kind of click, and he's built. Pop the head on. And there you go. That is Cronus. This is the first time we've ever had this figure in any form, and I think that is absolutely awesome that they included all this extra stuff to build a brand new figure. And you know, he's part of the He-Man universe and mythos. For the first time we get a Cronus figure. I think it's absolutely unbelievable. That's why I'm really digging this line. And that's why I think people should definitely stand behind it. You know, there's one point where they almost couldn't produce these guys because they needed subscriptions and all that stuff. And there was a Save the Masters of the Universe petition. And I was like, whatever, I could care less. But holy crap, I'm so glad these guys are still being produced. And I'm actually going to subscribe to the 2013 edition and subscription line just so I can get all these figures and not have to worry about being sold out all the time. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now articulation, he does have a very cool ball jointed head, a lot of movement, you get a lot of range out of it. He has a ball jointed arm, full articulation with 360 bicep cut, articulation with a pin elbow, 360 on the wrist, an ab crunch. He has waist articulation, of course, is 360 ball jointed legs with a swivel as well. He also has pivot knee and an extra cut at the boot. Ankle articulation. It doesn't have the pivot like He-Man does, but these figures are super articulated. And again, really good weight to it. Man, the figure just has that bulkiness and that chunkiness that you'd expect from the classic version, you know, from the 80s, and just amped up with unbelievable articulation and paint details that you'd expect from today's collector market. So they did a phenomenal job with this figure. Cronus, Trapjaw, either way you have it. This is a guy that I'm so fortunate enough to pick up. I'm extremely happy to have him. And you can see the comparison between the two. There's nothing wrong with the 2000X version. He's actually really cool. But just for nostalgia factor, you know, I love the way they did the new Trapjaw Cronus figure. But there you go, guys. Hopefully this is giving you a bit more of a broader appeal of He-Man and giving you maybe some knowledge on He-Man, and hopefully inspire you to pick up some of these characters, because it's truly a line that I think any collector from, you know, an older collector like myself from the 80s or a new collector is really going to appreciate, because these are absolutely phenomenal action figures. Okay guys, stay tuned. We got a lot more reviews coming up. Thanks for watching. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the He-Man Masters of the Universe Classics by Mattel. And please remember to subscribe, so we got lots of reviews and you don't want to miss any of the reviews coming up, because we got some really amazing stuff in the pipeline for reviews. Alright guys, take care, and we'll see you soon.